Silence isn't weakness, it's power. You were there for her when she cried. You listened, stayed loyal, and stayed consistent. And now, you're invisible. But here's the truth. The man who walks away in silence leaves the loudest echo in her heart. I gave her my time, my attention, and now she's just ignoring me? She used to text all day, now she barely replies. I kept chasing her, thinking it would bring her back. It only made things worse. Why do women seem to forget the good guys who truly care? You're sitting there wondering, why did she pull away when you gave her everything? Why does she seem more attracted to men who treat her like an option, while you treated her like a queen? You were always available, always texting first, always showing you cared, and now she's cold, distant, unbothered. You're probably asking yourself, did I do something wrong? Or worse, am I just not enough? Point 1. Silence is power, not weakness. In a world where people overshare, overchase, and overtext, silence stands out. When a man goes silent, it sends a message louder than words ever could. You're no longer available on demand. You're no longer reacting emotionally. You're taking back your power. Most guys think, if I just explain myself more, text her again, she'll understand. But here's the truth. The more you talk, the more power you lose. A woman can't feel your absence if you never leave. She can't miss you if you're always there. Think of the man who disappears from social media, doesn't reply to texts, doesn't show up where she expects him. Suddenly she starts asking, where is he? Who is he with? Is he over me? That curiosity creates attraction. That silence builds value. Point 2. You're teaching her what life feels like without you. Most guys chase after rejection because they're scared to lose her. But when you go silent, you allow her to experience the very thing she never expected. A life where you're no longer emotionally available. She begins to remember everything you gave. The attention, the compliments, the safety. She starts comparing every other guy to you. Because now, your energy is missing. Silence is the mirror that reflects your worth. She only sees it clearly when you're gone. People value what they have to work for. The man who goes quiet after being overlooked forces her to realize, wait, maybe I misjudged him. Maybe I lost something valuable. Point 3. Mystery creates obsession. When you go silent, you create mystery. Mystery is powerful because the human mind hates open loops. She doesn't know if you've moved on. She doesn't know if you still care. She doesn't know if you'll ever return. That uncertainty, it's like a fire in her mind. Why do cliffhanger episodes keep you coming back? Because your mind craves closure. It's the same with you. When you disappear without begging or blaming, she becomes emotionally addicted to closure. And ironically, she starts thinking about you even more. You're not being petty. You're being unforgettable. Because you're now the story left unfinished. Point 4. Silence makes her reflect, not defend. When a woman pulls away and you chase her with words like, "Why are you ignoring me? What did I do wrong?" She gets defensive. She blames you. But when you walk away in quiet confidence, she's left to reflect, not deflect. Maybe I was too harsh. Why did I lose interest so fast? Did I push away a good man? Silence gives her space to feel the loss. Your absence becomes her teacher. When you stay quiet, you're giving her room to reevaluate the situation without pressure. That's when regret has room to grow. Point 5. The man who respects himself always wins. Ultimately, going silent is not a trick. It's a reflection of your standards. You're no longer available to people who treat you like an option. That's not ego. That's self-respect. The man who respects himself will never have to beg for love, attention, or loyalty. You're not doing this to manipulate her. You're doing it to protect your energy. If she reaches out, good. If she doesn't, better. Because now you know where you stand. She may never tell you this, but she'll feel it deep down. She lost a man who would have given her the world and walked away without saying a word. That memory, It stays. Forever. Your silence is not rejection. It's reflection. It's growth. It's power. She'll never forget the man who vanished like smoke, because every time she breathes, she'll remember what she lost. They met when life felt like a fairy tale. Texts every morning, late-night calls, playful teasing, and dreams of forever. He admired her energy. She adored his calm presence. He made her feel seen, heard, and understood. But as time passed, she grew distant, testing how far she could push his patience. She delayed replies, canceled plans, and gave one-word answers. She thought he'd always chase. Until one day, he didn't. He stopped calling. His good morning texts disappeared. The silence was deafening. At first, she felt relieved. Then hours turned to days, days to weeks. Her mind spiraled. Was he with someone else? Did he never care? But deep down, she knew. He cared enough to walk away with dignity when he felt unappreciated. Psychologists call this the power of withdrawal response. When someone who's been consistent suddenly stops, it creates a void that forces reflection. She realized his silence wasn't anger. It was self-respect. He wasn't punishing her. He was valuing himself. She missed his kindness, his unwavering support, his subtle reminders to pray, and his quiet strength. She remembered how he once told her, "True love isn't about possession. It's about appreciation." In that silence, she understood his worth and her mistake. The truth is, the man who goes silent after giving his best isn't weak. He's wise. He knows love shouldn't require begging to be valued. And that's why she'll never forget the man who chose silence over losing himself, because his absence spoke louder than words ever could. Sometimes silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom. The man who walks away, not out of ego, but out of emotional mastery, leaves a mark that words never could. She may forget the texts, the calls, the late-night conversations, but she will never forget the moment you stopped chasing, because that silence, that's when she heard the loudest message. You were never desperate, you were just disciplined. Real masculine energy doesn't beg to be chosen. It walks away with dignity when it's not valued. And in that stillness, in that silence, you give her the gift of realization. You give her space to feel the weight of your absence. And trust me, that kind of silence echoes longer than any goodbye. So if you're watching this right now and you're holding yourself back from texting her, from calling her, from proving your worth, don't. Your silence might be the exact mirror she needs to finally see your value. If this video touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because here, we talk about real emotions, real strategies, and real growth. Your one click could change someone's life.